How dare you? I am the poo-poo king.
Rob Parker. And, of course, the big story of the past week or so was Kawhi Leonard going to the Los Angeles Clippers along with Paul George. So he didn't get to weigh in and give us your take
or
on everything that went down. Hey, what you know how it is. You know how it is as a reporter. You writing what you saying, what people telling you.
Just journalism-wise, the guy or the guys who were your sources when you were doing it.
Right.
Did you feel good about them, or
they were good,
or were they good?
Because they were carrying me.
You know what I mean?
Because
sometimes, after the fact, you might go, you know what? I never really used these guys or that guy,
right?
And it wound up not being as good as I thought. Were these new people or old people?
They were good.
Okay,
they were good sources and
people you used.
I told you, didn't make a big deal. I was sleeping Friday night. I went to bed at 9:30.
Wow.
These sources hit me at 10:57. See, I think the story broke around 11:15. They hit me with the Clippers. It's the Clippers. They're getting Paul George and all that.
See, when you say you went to bed at what time?
9:30.
See, I figured you were crying yourself to sleep after hearing
by
the
that
news.
time, it was there hadn't been any news yet.
And the reason I've always been, and you know what my narrative has always been, that guys don't want to play with LeBron. And it's not that he's not a great player, Chris. That's not it's not. They don't want to be, why would you want to, and you've even said this, why would Kawhi, who just won a championship, want to take a back seat? You could say, oh, no.
But my thing is, that's not LeBron. That's not a LeBron issue to me.
Well,
that's I mean, in this case, it was a big three issue.
But here's another one. Here's twice. And I did write this column for the shadowleague.com if you want to go take a look at it. Paul George has done this twice now, where he's come out, you know what I mean? Like, he could have, remember when he could have come here and he had talked about it for 2 years. LeBron gets here. Paul George that wants no part of coming. All of a sudden, he's not interested in the Lakers, not interested in coming back home. I know he's from Palmdale, but you know what I mean? Not coming back to Southern California. And he stays in OKC. Then Kawhi is like in this situation where he wants to come back. The Lakers are there. They have the money. That's why I always had a doubt.
But, Rob, that's not a LeBron thing. That's more of a big three thing.
But I still believe LeBron.
And I do think he wants to compete with LeBron.
Yes, but I also believe that guys don't. I think
what about Anthony Davis? You keep saying guys.
You know why?
Some guys.
Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has the same agent. And
so
I think
what? He chose that agent. He didn't have to have that agent.
I think that
but
muddies,
hold on, Rob,
that
so
muddies
is
the water.
Anthony Davis a puppet?
Well, that muddies the water.
I mean,
it's hard to not want to play with LeBron when you are in a company and with the same agent.
Rich Paul. He didn't have Rich Paul a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't believe when it comes to guys who don't have his agent or not in bed with LeBron's people, I'm going to.
That's not fair.
That's how I look at it. I do.
But Rob,
and Kawhi is the reason why I'm not buying it.
Anthony Davis just woke up and all of a sudden Rich Paul was his agent?
Well, no.
He chose Rich Paul. He left his previous agent a year or so ago and chose Rich Paul.
But once he got there and he's with Rich Paul and LeBron put Rich Paul on, they're going to have that conversation.
You don't think he knew that when he hired Rich Paul?
No, it's not automatic. No, it's not automatic.
He went to Rich Paul because he wanted to play.
He went to Rich Paul?
Yes. He went to Rich Paul in part because he wanted to play with LeBron. Why did Anthony Davis then? And
because they got the same agent, Rich Paul. That's the common denominator.
Anthony Davis is not his own man.
I'm asking you in the last.
No, you're sitting here just making Anthony Davis out to be this very small boy.
Don't you see
who gets led around on a string by Rich Paul?
Don't you see the strings? Look, this is Anthony Davis at lunchtime. He doesn't know what to order for food. LeBron orders for him.
The people in New England or the Tom Brady haters or whatever, they're always giving us something. They're always giving us something. And sure enough, former Patriot Christian Fauria has said something that is bonkers. I'm just going to let you hear it, and then I'll interpret.
See, I think that this offense is better off without him. And it has nothing to do with Brady's skill set. It's not because he's not good or he can't throw it or he's lost some speed on his fastball. It's because where he was in his career, his age, what he wanted to achieve, and what the Patriots were trying to achieve were completely different. So it was never going to work out. This offense is not going to be able to move forward with Brady as the quarterback, not because he sucks. Those throwaways were important. It's because he wasn't willing to adapt. There's the difference. He wasn't willing to let N'Keal Harry grow.
All right. You didn't even let him get to the part I really wanted to lambaste him on. And here it is. Because he said, right now, he said this year, right now, the offense is better off with Tom Brady. They are better off without him this year, yes. That's where he went off the rails, Rob Parker. But no, that was not enough for Christian Fauria, friend of the show. He had to go ahead and say they are better right now. Right now, Rob Parker. Jarrett Stidham has thrown 4 NFL passes. One of them was an interception. But you're better off without Tom Brady now? We have absolutely, positively no idea whether or not Jarrett Stidham can play. None. But you're better off without him now? What? This is mad. You were 12-4 last year. You are 2 years removed from a Super Bowl championship. What in the world could he be talking about, Rob Parker? This is lunacy.
He's spot on.
I expect
on.
this from you, but not from Christian Fauria.
He's spot on. He listened and watched. Just take a listen to Tom Brady's highlight from a year ago.
Worst throw in 10 years by Tom Brady.
That's right. Christian Fauria
Wasn't
is
that
up
the year
in
they won
Boston.
the Super Bowl? Wasn't
It's
that the
in
year they won the
Boston.
Super Bowl?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I think it
last year.
was.
It was not. It was last
2
year.
years ago. You've been playing
last
that ever
year.
since we started the show.
And he knows that a 43-year-old quarterback with a noodle arm is not the guy you're going to have.
Why is he picking him to win the Super Bowl next year?
I have no idea because they're not even going to make
This
the playoffs.
is just killing your whole argument.
No, it's not.
You just
because
ranting.
he's been
You're
right.
just going off the top of the
He's in
dome.
Boston. No, he's in Boston. He has a connection. He's talked to the people. They've seen Tom Brady in practice. They know what's going on. And you could blame, just like everybody, the whole narrative was Tom Brady does more with less than any other quarterback. And then last year, you can't expect him to do it. He don't have anybody. So which one is it?
It's both.
Tom
He
Brady.
was
No,
42
you had
years
your
old.
time. You had your time. Can you pipe down? Can you cut his mic? Enough with the Chris Broussard. So
say something legitimate.
Now,
This is
I've been saying it
foolishness. You sound
legitimate.
worse
Are you
than
kidding
Fauria.
me? No, me and Christian are in lockstep on this. And Chris, the difference is he's a former player who's looking at an objective, and I'm just an objective reporter, and you're just a Brady fanboy. And you can't see anything past your love for Tom Brady. That's where we are, absolutely.
Where's that little bell come
Because
from?
it's
What
true.
does that mean?
Chris is a Tom Brady fanboy.
Around the horn or
and
something? Okay, so they're not going to make it this year, but they're better without the GOAT.
He's
That
not the
makes no
GOAT. Joe
sense.
Montana's been retired
Okay,
for 15 years.
even if he's second in your strange rankings, they're better off without the second best quarterback of all time.
Yes. They
Stop
are
it.
better at this point because Tom Brady's not that guy, and people will find out in Tampa, and then Chris will be on the radio week after week. What do you expect? He's 43. That's a built-in excuse that we'll have that button for Chris, because that's what he'll say when Tom Brady looks awful and he can't deliver the ball downfield and he gets sacked and beat up and harassed, and then they'll say, they don't protect for Tom. That's why. No wonder Jameis Winston had 30 interceptions.
He said a quarterback stats are his record. He was 12-4. Enough
He
said.
lost. Did he lose in the playoffs? Did he throw a pick?
When Aaron
pick
Rodgers
six?
lost in the playoffs,
No, we're
it
not
looked
talking about
absolutely
Aaron
horrible.
Rodgers. That's not your
You
excuse.
start bringing up division
We're talking
titles.
about Tom Brady. What
When
happened
Aaron
to him
Rodgers
last year?
falls short
What
time
happened?
and time and year again, you
That's
start
right.
bringing up division
And you bring it up.
titles.
And you bring it
When
up. You bring it
Carson
up,
Wentz
Doug.
can't
who lost
win a
on the
playoff
hot
game,
seat. You brought up
start
Doug, who
bringing
lost on the hot seat. That's your
9-7 record.
That's your
bringing up
ammunition.
late regular season
You're bringing up a guy who
games.
lost. You're quoting Marv
Decent
Levy too, who lost
performances
4
in late
Super Bowls.
regular season games.
Chris is
So
like
stop
the
it.
spokesperson
Stop
for
being
Losers
the mid-boat,
Anonymous.
the most inconsistent brother of all time. Those are your mantras. Short menu, and anybody can win one.
Who are you telling? I know what I'm saying.
But
the
you
problem
always
is
desert
you're
your
all
mantras.
over the place and you don't know what you're saying. You're all over.
I know what I'm saying.
I'm consistent.
I'm saying they would
I
be
don't
better
waver.
off
I don't
with
pick
Tom
the
Brady as
favorites
the
in every
quarterback.
event and think that I'm smart because I pick the favorites in every
I
event.
pick the winners.
That's what you do.
That's
No, you
who I
pick the
pick.
favorites.
That's
you
who
cop
I
out
pick.
every single time
I pick
and
the
pick the
winners.
most obvious. Anybody can do that, Chris
Who's
Broussard.
most
I'm the
obvious
one
in
who
the
picked
NBA?
the Toronto Raptors.
You're the one that
I'm the
picked the
one who
LA
picked the
Chargers.
Washington Nationals. I'm
this
the one.
madness.
No, I'm that guy.
Rob
You're
Parker.
just the
Who's the
status
favorite?
quo.
Who's
You
the
don't
favorite
go
in
out on a
basketball?
limb, Chris.
Who's
You
the
don't do
favorite in
anything
basketball?
special. You just do the protocol. Let me just play it safe. Let me pick Golden State every year. You have no idea
Did
what
I
you're
pick 'em
talking
last
about.
year?
How dare you? I am the poo-poo king.
Rob
I
Parker.
picked
You're darn
Washington.
right about that.
I picked Toronto.
You're full of
I'm
poo-poo,
the one.
That's what you are. You're full of poo-poo.
My chest is stuck out. I'm so good when it comes to picking these games.
I'm a little
because
Didn't
I
you pick
stand
the
on the
Chargers?
line.
Who picked the winner? Who picked the Super Bowl champion? Me.
And
Silence.
you know, every
Turn
time
that
I put
garbage
wings
off.
on it,
Hit me
I
with my beat.
win.
Because I picked the Kansas City
And-
Chiefs
and
to
give me
win
those-
the Super Bowl, and that gummit, they did.
All
Give me
I
my
know
beat, Alex.
is that
Give me
you
my-
don't have
that's
no.
right. The
Where-
champ is here.
The sneakers
The
I
last-
have on came out of your wallet. That's how good you are. Those $200 Jordans came out of your wallet. What Jordans are
Turn
you
that
wearing?
garbage
You ain't got
off.
no Jordans
The
from
last-
me, and
the-
you'll never have any.
the
Because you ain't
last
good enough to beat
champion-
me in a bet.
The last champion we had to pick was the NFL champion. And who got it right? I let you have the regular season. I let you stick out that bird chest of yours. I let you feel good about yourself because I felt sorry for you, how I had punished you the year before. And
You're
it got
talking
to
about
your head.
old news.
It went to
Can
your
you talk
head.
about what's going
So
on
I had
now?
to silence you.
I
had
rubbed
to
the
shut
floor
you
with you.
down with Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
I am the one who
You
ran
are the
away with
one
the
that's full
NFL
of
picks.
poo-poo.
You
You're
stick to
full
the
of poo-poo.
NBA. And even with the NBA, you always get it wrong. Picking the Lakers, they got the best team.
No, I picked the Clippers.
You pick Golden State.
I picked
I'm
the
one.
Clippers.
I'm talking about last year.
Let's
I
get
was
to
the
the callers. Let's get to the callers. Ace.
Hey, man. Chris, I didn't know you had that love for Tom Brady like that, man.
Oh, yeah, he's
It
a
ain't
fanboy.
love.
He's a fanboy.
I'm not even a big Tom Brady fan. I just keep it real. I don't hate. That's all. The dude's 6 Super Bowls. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I got you on the Super Bowl, but Tom, I think the Patriots did the right thing because if Tom, like you said, Chris, earlier, you didn't think they would win the Super Bowl. So why hang on to him?
But the question
go.
is next year. I get
next
it
year-
down the line. Next year they're
and-
going to be better with Stidham than they would have been with Brady?
Yes.
There you
How
go.
many games? How many games are
There
they
you
going to win?
go. Hey, Chris, you ain't got to. He don't have to justify his answer to you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Say
Robert.
4? How many games they going to win? Stop it.
Thanks, Robert. Carlito in Florida. You're
Where's
on
he
the
from?
Odd Couple.
Detroit.
Fox Sports Radio.
Man. Y'all are great. Listen,
Thank you, buddy.
I think that the Patriots should be better in the future because half of those games were tainted, especially with the Raiders at first. But RP, just keep pounding him, man, because he picked Dallas all last season, and then he must have flipped the coin and got the coin right, and picked the Chiefs because.
You know it. You
Look,
know what I was
picked-
saying.
I picked
Carlito.
Kansas City over
Chris,
Dallas in
Chris.
the beginning.
No, you picked Dallas
No,
to get
no,
to the Super
stop
Bowl.
Yeah, but I picked Kansas City to beat
Then you
them.
don't.
I
See,
picked Kansas.
listen,
No, you
see.
got to be right. Don't call them
Chris,
lying.
go ahead. Let him talk, Chris.
Just be right, though.
You jump off the bandwagon and break your legs and then jump on the Chiefs
Rob picked the
bandwagon.
Charge. I picked the Chiefs in the beginning. Chiefs over
Carlito,
Cowboys.
you called him out. He picks the most obvious picks anyway. All right.
Who is that, Carlito Parker or something?
No, Max in Georgia.
How many dudes did you text?
Here's Max in Georgia, my man. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports
I can tell
Radio.
you what Max is going to just play one of Rob's rants.
No, he's
That's
not.
what
He's
Max
his
does,
own
sir.
man, Max. What you got?
Junior going to do his own thing, Chris.
That's right.
Yeah,
Hey,
all right, do it. Let's hear it.
This is like the quote from Batman. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Tom Brady could have either retired the hero, but now he's lived long enough to see himself become the new villain. Let me say this. Tom Brady was a strong player in New England. There's no doubt about it. He fit the system great. Having said that, I think he became a liability. When you look at the last few years, I mean, besides that
last few years, they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they won,
He
Chris,
was a
without him
liability
throwing
and
a
they won the
touchdown.
Super Bowl?
It was 13-10.
Would you rather win the Super Bowl with no touchdowns or go
Chris,
out in the NFC title
It told
game
you
with
about
3?
Brady, Max.
Stop
You're 100% right.
Stop
it showed you about Brady, how awful he is. Marty in
Gosh.
Kentucky. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Marty, please.
What you
talk
got,
some
Marty?
sense into these guys.
What's up, this theme song Thursday, fellas?
What's up? We
man?
playing some good ones too, Marty.
Yes, you did. I just can't believe that Rob called Chris a Tom Brady fanboy.
That's what he is.
Let him finish, Rob.
You must be feeling awful confident after you was on Colin Cowherd today, being as you two are the only guys like in the world that think that Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you.
Yeah,
Rack him. Rack him.
And Chris and I started the show off a few hours ago talking about Emmitt Smith, who I don't know where he got the moxie and the gall and the nerve to say that Dak Prescott should consider taking less money, a hometown discount, and especially for a guy who held out in order to get paid by the Cowboys. He's got some nerve. Listen to what he had to say about Dak Prescott.
Dak has to understand and maybe take another perspective. The perspective may not be all the money that you get. It may be how much of the money you're willing to leave on the table, because the Cowboys is a marketable organization.
And so you got all that extra money. That's
so
not,
if you are the face of the franchise, would it not, instead of taking 35, would you take 28 and leave some for Amari and pick up the other 35 through endorsements?
What? Stop it, Emmett. What are you talking about? That's not Dak Prescott's problem. They have a general manager. They have a capologist. They have an owner. Let them figure it out. I'm not giving you no hometown discount. What's Tom Brady belly aching right now about? Oh, for 20 years he took less. He never got paid to be the superstar
how'd
quarterback.
that work out?
And hey, Tom Brady should have.
He's the GOAT. That's how
he
it
ain't
worked
the
out.
GOAT. He ain't the GOAT when it comes to letting his other teammates down
He's
and
still
players.
filthy rich.
Tom Brady made a mistake and he knows it.
Really?
You're giving these owners
don't know it.
a
Stop
discount for what?
Stop it.
You know I'm right.
You ain't right. The only thing-
Emmitt Smith has some nerve to tell somebody else, mess with another man's money. Worry about your own damn money and not Dak Prescott. I don't care that you play for the Cowboys. I don't. You shouldn't. That guy's money should not be in your mouth to tell another man to take less money. How dare you?
It's not as easy as saying and shouting and sticking out your chest, it's not my job. It's Jerry Jones. No, there's a cap, Rob.
No, but
You
Chris,
can't
you're
just
missing the point.
spin.
Does Jerry Jones go to him when he's ready to release a player because they don't want to pay him? Do they go to Dak Prescott and go, hey, Dak, what do you think about this? We got to let this guy go because he makes too much money. We know he was productive last year, but we can't afford
What's
him
that got
anymore.
to do with anything?
I'm just talking about, why does Dak have to worry about that? They don't ask him when they're ready to release a player. So why does
completely,
that? No, it's
that's
not.
all you got?
Why, that's what
the
I
best.
got.
That
because
makes no
it makes
sense.
Yes, it does.
It does not.
It does.
Dak is up right now.
Dak
His
doesn't have to.
contract is up.
We
And
doesn't
how
have
much
to
they
help out
pay-
Jerry Jones. That's his job. Let them figure it out, Chris. That's
Rob,
all I'm
this is
saying.
ridiculous. You're just yelling and screaming without
I'm trying
any
to
logic.
I'm trying to help you out because you don't get it.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
you don't
get
get
it.
it.
I'm fine. I get
You're the
it
only
plenty.
guy. Yes, you don't get it. You always talk about giving up money. Giving up money for what?
Go ahead.
It doesn't make sense.
No, go ahead. You got the next 10 minutes.
Why should Dak give up money? It doesn't make. The market value says 37 to 40. That's what I want. Why won't you pay me what the market value is? I don't care about your finances. If you didn't work the cap right, that's on you.
Go ahead.
That's it.
I'm done. You won't let me speak.
Mic drop.
Go ahead.
There we go. All right.
Keep talking. Yeah, you going to let me speak, I'll speak. But if you're going to keep yelling me down, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just
you can talk now. I'm good.
I mean, come on, Rob. This sports is different than other aspects of life because there's a winning component. There's a salary cap. Now, I get it. If there's no cap, then let everybody take as much as they can get, and y'all figure it out with the other players. But there's a cap. We got to fit everybody under the cap. But if we're a better team, we're in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs every year. Maybe we win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl.
They didn't even make the playoffs last year.
These dudes are filthy rich regardless.
They're not
Tom
filthy
Brady,
rich. They make what the market allows. It's based on economics, Chris.
They're not filthy. You just said they're not filthy
but
rich.
No, not based on the
You're
business.
not thinking
not
straight.
The business, not the business that they're in and the amount of money that's being generated. They're getting a portion of it.
That's not.
They deserve
that doesn't
it.
affect whether or not they're filthy rich.
If that's the case, then he should take $10 million. He can live on $10 million. Why shouldn't he take 10, Chris?
Obviously,
what's
you
the
didn't
difference?
Listen to
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Stop it, Rob. Quit interrupting me.
I don't understand it.
Go ahead.
What's the difference if you're saying he's filthy rich? 10 million, he's filthy rich. Why can't he take 10 million instead of 32? If it doesn't matter with the money, why can't he take 10? He can't live on $10 million?
You done?
Yes.
All right. The difference, if you listen to what I said, instead of getting all in your feelings and sticking your chest out and trying to be all loud and bold, but LeBron was willing to take less, and his statement to me privately was there's nothing you can do with $18 million a year that you can't do with $16 million a year.
And what is
they're absolutely right.
So why is that not the case now? Why does he have to have the max now then?
He decided he wants the max.
Oh, okay. All right.
He decided as the best player in the world, and that's everybody.
He has companies, businesses. What does he need money for?
When you ask me questions, you don't let me answer. Do you want the answer or not?
It's time for 6 minutes.
6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes to get fresh, your own.
The Odd Couple debates, and you decide the winner. But there's a catch. They only have 6 minutes.
That's right, it is 6 minutes. The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio, the new segment that's sweeping the nation. We do it every single Friday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, where we have Chris and Rob go head-to-head to debate some of the hottest topics in sports. The only catch is they only got 6 minutes, and the Odd Couple callers are the judges. We got 5 judges on hold right now. The first one to get 3 votes is going to win. And today's topic, we kind of been debating it a little bit throughout the last week or so, and even before that. But here it is right now. The CBS and ESPN released a poll that lists Steph Curry as the 13th greatest player in NBA history. More surprise than that, though, was Isiah Thomas was about 20 spots below that. So here is the debate topic. Who should be ranked higher all time, Isiah or Steph? Chris, we'll start with you.
All right, this is tough because Isaiah's my man, but Steph Curry, if you look at it objectively, it's not even a debate. He's the best shooter in NBA history. He's changed the way the game of basketball is played at every level, from elementary on up to the pros. And when you're telling the story of basketball, because of those 2 factors, he undoubtedly has to be mentioned before Isiah Thomas. Individually, he's got more honors. 2-time MVP, first ever unanimous MVP, 6-time All-NBA, in fewer seasons than Isiah played, and Isiah only made 5 All-NBA teams, none of them during his championship years, and Steph was always on All-NBA's championship years. Individual stats, He's a higher points per game, higher rebounds, better field goal percentage, better three-point percentage, fewer turnovers per game, better free throw percentage. And while he's not a great defender, Isiah wasn't either, never made an all-defensive team. And Steph led the league in steals one year, something Isiah never did. Analytically, it's not close. Steph's got 23 more win shares in 280 fewer games, because the more games you play, the more win shares you can get, and he still got Isiah beating 300 fewer games almost. 5 points higher on his PER. In fact, Steph's 17th all-time PER, Isiah 150th. Team success, Steph's got him beat. 3 championships, 5 straight finals appearances. Nobody had done it in 53 years since Bill Russell. And if you think it was KD's team, think again. They went 25-1 with Steph playing and no KD. They went 28-18 playing with KD and no Steph. Plus, he got a 73-win season. He beat LeBron, KD, Westbrook, Harden, Chris Paul, and Anthony Davis all in their primes without Kevin Durant.
Of course, Chris had to bring up Kevin Durant, because you can't talk about Steph Curry without Kevin Durant. That's what makes Isiah Thomas the better player. You could throw around all these phony numbers you want. Isiah Thomas on the 50 greatest players of all time, also in the Hall of Fame. And when you think about what he was able to do to transform the lowly Detroit Pistons, that were the second worst team in the NBA when he was drafted there, into back-to-back champions, something that hadn't happened in the NBA since 1968-69 when he led that team to 2 championships. It could have easily been 3 if it wasn't for that bad call against the Lakers. Isiah Thomas did nothing but win. He didn't have a plethora of other great players. He didn't have another great top 50 player on his roster to team up with. He also was able to beat Michael Jordan during his heyday, Larry Bird during his heyday, and Magic Johnson during his heyday. Nobody can bolster that. When you think of Isiah Thomas, he was that tough guy. Who can forget that Game 6 with a badly sprained ankle, 25 points? There are no magical moments for Steph Curry in any big games. It's not about Steph. Has never been a big game player. What is his moment? Somebody please help me. There is none. It was always about other players. Kevin Durant was the 2-time back-to-back finals MVP for a reason. He overshadowed Steph Curry. Nobody could overshadow Isiah Thomas on that team. It was his team. Everybody knew it. All of his accolades matter the most. Hall of Famer and 50 greatest player of all time. And he slayed every big giant in his way during that time, turning that franchise around. He is the best small guy who's ever played in the NBA.
Isiah, he scored 25 in that quarter, Rob. They lost that series. And in the other 6 games of the series, Isiah averaged less than 16 points on 37% shooting. Also, Isiah had the biggest game mistake of the 2 players. Remember the gaffe in 1987? They had Boston beat, about to go up 3-2 in the conference finals. He throwed the point guard. Inbounds pass, throws it away. Larry Bird steals it. They win the game and go on to win the series. Conversely, Steph Curry has averaged 26.5 points in the playoffs and 26.5 points in the finals in his career. That's the 10th highest scoring average ever in the finals. Second highest ever among point guards. 26.5 points, higher than Kobe, Dirk, Hakeem, Kareem, Shaq, Larry Bird, Chamberlain, Dr. J, Dwayne Wade, Rick Barry. I mean, he's been phenomenal in the finals. 26 points a game. Come on.
He's not phenomenal. That's why he's never won a finals MVP. They gave it to Iguodala the first championship. And Steph Curry, they claim he averaged 26 points. It tells you they were meaningless points. And when the game is on the line, remember, he's 0 for 8 to tie the game or put his team ahead in the final 20 seconds. He doesn't make the big shots. He's not clutch. And talk about a gaffe. In that 3-1 choke job, no other player has ever choked down a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals except the Steph Curry-led Warriors. That's what he has to wear. Remember that bad pass? He was trying to do a dipsy doodle behind his back and turn the ball over. It was a huge turnover in the fourth quarter. Isiah Thomas is a champion, and when the Pistons won, it was about Isiah Thomas, not about other players. Steph had a dream team. That's why he was able to win.
Wow. I tell you guys, the odd couple is worth the price of admission.
Come on.
And right now, we got to head out to the callers. We got 5 judges on hold. You guys know how it works. The first one to get 3 votes will win this debate and settle it once and for all, Isiah versus Steph. So let's get started. William in Kansas City, who you got?
I got Steph Curry. I'm riding with my boy, Chris.
Chris just text you, huh?
Now you trying to steal my material, man. Come on.
I see.
He didn't even give you any
Good
reason
job,
why.
William.
Just that he's a fan of yours.
Stop it.
CB up 1-0. Let's move on now. Joe in Detroit. Who do you think won that battle?
Yeah, I'm going with Rob. I got to go with Isiah Thomas.
My man.
Detroit. Come on. We should ban Detroit from
Why?
calling in
Detroit's
on 6
one of
minutes.
our best areas of cities.
You know
listening to our
everybody
show.
there. I guarantee you know Rob or whatever his name was.
All right, it's 1-1. And now it's kind of funny you brought up Detroit because now we move on to California. Marcus, who do you think won this debate?
I'm going to the person who came through in the clutch, Isiah Thomas.
Yes,
When did he come
sir!
through in the clutch? He never watched.
It's 2-1. One more can win it, or we can push it to vote number 5. Mo in Atlanta. Who do you got?
Mo.
The suspense is killing me. We're going to move on. Jeff in Virginia. Who do you think won this battle?
I got to say, Isiah never choked a 3-1 lead, so let's go with Isiah.
Yes, sir! Unbelievable. No doubt about it. That's right.
I'm the poo-poo
6
king.
minutes, I'm the poo-poo king.
Rob Parker.
In 3 weeks, Rob has won it twice.
Yes,
handily
Daddy.
over Chris Broussard.
I'm a woman.
You and Steph Curry take that weak, choking dog 3-1 championship and then smoke it. How's that?
And my cheese was hot.
You right about one thing. You are the poo-poo king.
I'm the poo-poo king.
Full of poo-poo.
Amazing. It's all good. Hey, you know what, Chris? I do so far.
What?
I do love 6 minutes. I hope you guys are
it's
enjoying
good.
it.
It's good.
Fun.
It's good.
Definitely fun.
No more Detroit judges, though. Nah, I'm just
What? Stop.